Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, I haven't really had any content to film, and this is a very random video of a very windy day. As you can see, I'm just filming out my window because I could not believe my eyes. It looked so scary. Probably not as scary as it looks in the video, but I was just watching the trees come alive. Let's go outside and see. Did you know that home plants actually prefer rainwater? I have that bucket that collecting the rain because my plants are so much happier after they had a drink of that rather than tap water. I filmed this probably in October when it was still nice and green. My roses were all over the place from the wind. And this is when I decided that perhaps I could put some arches and connect the roses that way so they don't get blown away, because they are quite big and the metal things that are holding it just aren't strong enough. Let's have a look what's happening here. I love these trees. I love these trees so much. The ground looks a little bit dry from all the pine needles. Our barbecue area. The shed is still standing, and this hopefully will be our vegetable garden. I know it doesn't look like much at the moment, but it took a lot of time to actually get to this point. And I can't wait for the summer when I can jump back to working on this area, because there's just so much potential. There's a sneak peek of what the neighbor's bit looks like. It's just so neglected, and yet it's still not as bad as what our part was, because it contained some weird bushes that were really hard to get rid of. This is where the greenhouse will be, and hopefully this is where my new shed will be. I'm hoping to build one out of bricks rather than wood this time around, because it does have this concrete base that I can reuse, and hopefully it will be more sturdy than this. I filmed this such a long time ago that I can't even remember what is going on. It seems a lot more tidy inside. Not so much on the other side. Just getting ready for takedown. There's a little hole that I think the foxes made. And this part, I don't even know how it's standing. It's so tilted. Like, one day I'm gonna come out here and it's gonna be blown away. So what we're gonna do next is remove the wall and the glass panels. Just taking it one step at a time. Taking it apart little by little until it's completely gone. And today is the day when we're gonna take it apart. We have no idea what we're doing. There's some roof felt that's been glued to the wood. Guess to protect it from the rain because it was rotting away. At this point it was just slightly scary that what if one of these panels is holding the whole shed together and it would just crumble, but I don't know, it's still standing. It's all good. Lots of spiders have lost their homes this day, but hopefully they moved out somewhere nicer. I thought I'll be clever and try and use a... what is this, a jig? Oh, just like that, the whole panel is gone. Let me just save these glasses. We have some casualties, but I would like to clean the glass up and reuse it for another project. I'm trying to grow some plants and I'm having difficulties because the soil under the pine tree is very dry. I feel like it's like pine needles decomposing and they are turning into this powder-like sand that doesn't absorb water, and every time I water it I can just see the water go down. I can't even describe it. Like if you would pour water on a bird and the feathers are greasy and the water just slides right off, that's exactly how it is with the ground. And I've been trying to mix in some nice soil together with this, I don't even know how to call it, soil, with the hopes that perhaps it's gonna make it better and will absorb water better, and therefore I'll have some plants growing there, because at the moment I'm really struggling. This is when I had the idea to have the arches, and this is just a plastic tube that I wrapped around with some thread, and I was so happy with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have an arch in my garden, it's so cool. And then it kind of escalated where I want more. I like arches. I don't know what it is about them. And I know I have these 3 roses growing along the path. I was like, what if I would try and grow a rose along the arch? I don't know how tall roses get, or if I will be able to like bend them as they grow taller, so that they do grow on an arch and like make like a little tunnel situation. I don't know, we'll see. Because they are quite tall at the moment, and this metal support is no longer strong enough to keep it together, especially this front one, the very first one, the biggest one. It was all over the place. And here is an arch that I got from Amazon. You can choose how wide or tall you want it to be. I wanted it to be slightly taller, so I removed some parts from one side and added it to the other, and that way it became like really tall, and I didn't even need it to be touching the ground on the other side. As you can see, I just attached it to the fence, and I really like the look of it. I just put some screws into the fence and I screwed the screw through the zip tie like that. Probably not the best option, but that's just what I came up with at the time, because I was desperate to get these arches in place and see what they look like. I don't know how else I could attach them, because obviously the fence is quite thin. Unless I get some kind of attachments, like special attachments for pipes, and maybe attach it that way. But for now, the zip ties and the screw is okay. They lasted 3 months so far, hasn't come apart, so I'm pleased with that. and I got 3 of these arches because I have 3 of the roses. But as the time went on, I think I'll have to get that other arch off, if I can even call it that, the plastic one, because it now looks a bit odd having 3 proper ones and having that one that's now I can see is not even in the great shape. So I'll remove that one in spring, order another one of these from Amazon and put it at the end there. I'm not sure what to plant on it because I don't want to have any more roses. Like, these 3 are plenty, and there's another 2 on the other entry that they just don't grow very well because I think it's too dark. The further from the house you go, the less light you get, and that's why the rose by the house is the biggest, and as you go away from the house, the less sun is there and the slower the roses grow. So I will need to find some kind of climbing plant that thrives in the shade, but that's another job for spring. These were quite simple to assemble, minus the part that some of the holes didn't match up with the straight parts, so it was sometimes a struggle to get the screw in, which was very annoying. But I mean, I managed. I did all 3 of them, but it was, you know, just frustrating when you get something and every single one doesn't match up. Anyway, I'm still happy with it. I'm still gonna order a 4th one, and I guess that's just how things are when you get something cheaper. Now looking at this, I'm thinking you could easily get 2 packs and make one super wide arch. That'd be so cool. I just pushed one end into the ground and the other one is attached to the fence. Just had to get the height right and make sure that they're all the same. Just making a hole in a zip tie so I can put through a screw. Just gonna repeat the same on other zip ties. Dum da da dum! All 3 of them have been installed. Can't really see them, they kind of blend in with the greenery, but I'm so happy. Best thing ever. Now just let's wait and see if these roses will actually try and grow up them and form the arch, or if I'll need to find other plants to climb it, because this is definitely here to stay. I love the arches so much. Just need to replace this last arch and then it will be done. I've added some compost to the soil. It was a lot of compost, a lot of digging, and I'm not sure how good this will do because obviously I still had to dig around all the plants that are there. I don't know, I'm just trying my best at this point. I put some bricks around it, hopefully stop the water running out of there. Maybe it'll help it keep it in that little area. We'll see how this goes. I'm really not sure what else to do. So some bark chip on top, and fingers crossed my little plants will start growing. There's an old sink that was left at the property when we moved in that's now serving as a plant pot. A couple of these plants were already here when we moved in, and all the grass that you can see around it wasn't there. It was all pine needles, just piles and piles of pine needles. Grass wasn't even growing there. Like, I'm not sure how any plants survived in there. Some lights from Timo that flicker like flames. Little fireworky ones. Yes, I'm a little bit crazy. You know, when you get a garden and you're super excited about it, you'll just get anything and everything for it. Same as this glittery thing. Like, as long as there's no gnomes or creatures like dragons, I don't know, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. What am I saying? Like, I can go crazy with it, right? Like, there's never gonna be too many lights. Like, who would look at that and be like, oh no, that's just too much. I love these lights. They actually do look like a flame. I hope they last. They were only £8 each. The one over there sometimes is struggling to get enough sunlight to power it up. Oh, but it just looks so magical. They're not really producing any light, they're just nice to look at. And we got some of these that just look like Christmas lights. But they're staying, like, I don't know, I like them. Perhaps in the summer I'll take them off and keep them for, I don't know, maybe winter times because they're so colorful. I really can't wait for the day when this is not a mess. when I think back about what it looked like when we moved in and where we are now, it seems like I've done so much, but at the same time, it still looks a mess. There's still so much work and so much gardening. Cute little lights everywhere. I could just sit here forever and look at the trees. We are starting to build a greenhouse. I couldn't find any slabs, so we decided just to make a timber frame for the moment, and then when the spring comes, I will figure out what I want to do with the flooring in the greenhouse. And just to keep us warm, because it is freezing, I put a little fire on, and some of this shed is currently in that fire burning. And I've never seen a frozen web before, but here it is. Super cool. Even the roses have frozen. Like, I don't know how are they growing, and at the same time it's too cold for them. Like, it's completely frozen. The leaves look clear and you can see the ice inside the flower. It's so strange. That's the base done. It took us probably a week on and off to build it because it was getting really dark really quick and it was super windy and super cold. At this point I was just praying for the wind not to blow away what we've built so far, because it was just standing there without a roof for a few days. For the time being, I'm gonna put some pallets on the floor because we have a big stack of pallets available, and I'm hoping that somehow that will help to keep my plants warm. Here they all are, nice and cozy, all wrapped up, ready for the winter. And there's me trying to collect some rainwater, which by the way didn't work out. I'm still trying to figure out what to use to collect the water. It's a little bit windy today. My little fabric on the roof is flying around. quite nice and cozy in here. Have a little heater installed there, pizza oven, and just fabric all the way around. The shed is still exactly the same as it was. We haven't done any work on it. It's just hanging by a thread. Everything's neglected. And as for the greenhouse, we have a little heater in there, the paraffin heater. It's very smelly, and it says that it's currently in here 8 degrees, but it went down to 1.2, which was the lowest last night. It's just barely warm, but it keeps all my plants happy, especially this one, because last year I lost the mother plant. I was very upset because it froze completely. Hopefully this year it will survive. Greenhouse is out of plastic, and we had a couple of casualties. Some of the panels, one in the corner there has flew all the way over there, but luckily it wasn't damaged, so I just put it back on with a bit of tape. Some clear tape holding it together because it was really windy. I'm actually surprised that this is still standing. I got the greenhouse in December to try and keep all my plants warm. It was around £400. It was half price at the time. I'll try and link it for you if you're interested. The only thing I have to say is that it was very important to make sure that the ground, like the frame at the bottom, was level, because if it's slightly out on one corner or the other, it would have been very difficult to put the plastic panels in. I feel like there might be something a little bit off at the back of the greenhouse, and that's why one of the panels flew out. I think it happened a couple of times now, and that's why I had to put sellotape on there. So that's the only thing to keep in mind. If it's really windy, it's not strong, so you have to really be careful and try your best to make everything nice and square, which I did rush. I did rush it because it was so cold and so dark, so with a little bit of patience, I think it would have been a perfect little greenhouse. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am currently working on some art projects. Hopefully that will be another video, and I know I've been away for a while. I'm really trying to create more content for you guys, and I'm also trying to be better in front of the camera. It's really difficult. I don't know why it's so difficult. There's nobody here, and yet I still feel awkward filming myself, talking to myself. I don't know how other people do it. It seems like such an easy task, and then you record something and then you don't like it, you delete it, you start over, and it's like a vicious circle. I'm rambling. I'll just say bye, see you soon, and thank you for watching.